not a slumber party.
This is a guys chill out right here on the Cave.
Welcome, Active FM listeners. This is your boy DJ Cave, and I'm right here with the one and the only. He can introduce himself. Man, what's your name?
The one, the only DJ Stones.
Man, we're still waiting. Yeah. So you know how we do it. This is us, DJ Stones. Even though I still sort of do think his intro is a bit dramatic, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. I don't know why. But anyway.
You always get the hang of it.
So this is us yet another week, and we are just here to do the most like we always do. And we are speaking about responsibility, and we're obviously going to be speaking about responsibility from a guy's perspective, because like we always say, this is a guy show, and this is where we do the most. So DJ Stones, what's happening on your side, man?
Yeah, man, I've been really enjoying like this past few weeks, man. I really feel like a topic like this is a topic that can really be spread. You know, it's something a lot of people really need to hear. Speaking about responsibility, a lot of people don't actually understand the importance of responsibility in society, as a guy especially, and I'm really looking forward to the topic.
So we are speaking responsibility, and obviously this is something that we all know about, so we're not trying to be a bit too cliche about the whole topic and everything, but at the same time everybody needs to hear about this topic. It's something that we need to reiterate all the time, because as much as people know about this, not many people are actually taking this into consideration and are aware of how to go about this. But then we need people to become responsible and to actually take charge in life, to take charge in society and in everywhere, because just look at what's going on right now. We need people that are responsible enough and that are going to take a stand to help people combat whatever they're going throughout this pandemic, and just help them go through anything with life. And it just takes courage, but it also takes someone with a good sense of responsibility to do that. But before we go too deep into our topic, we are just going to go into some music. So
yes, enjoy it. Do you know why they're gonna enjoy it?
Why?
Because radio has never been better.
You got that right.
Stay tuned.
Do you love radio?
Well, of course, if you're listening to
Music is hot music.
That's how it is and that's how it goes.
For all your information
and all your entertainment.
Radio has never been better.
You got me going crazy. Something about you, your love is so amazing, and I know that you be everything I need. Your word brings me to life. Your word brings me to life. Like a cloud by day, like a fire by night. You're with me all the way. You're with me all the way. Like a cloud by day, like a fire by night. You're with me all the way. You're with me all the way. I know that you be everything I need. Your word brings me to life. Your word brings me to life. No matter where I go, I give you control. Your word brings me to life. Your word brings me to life.
Say nothing lasts forever, but that ain't true. You can't change the weather, but they can't change you. And I love it when you speak, 'cause you speak the truth. Your words bring me to life and make me brand new. Can't change you. We brand new. Can't change you. We brand new. Can't change you. We brand new flow. Can't change you. We brand new flow.
Yeah. Wow, that was such an amazing jam right here on Active FM. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Christ music is hot music, man, and I just heard some fire right there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump straight into it, just dive right into it.
Yeah.
Responsibility in society as a man, Why?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a woman will walk past us and like, why do guys speak such deep things? You wanted to know what guys speak about. This is what we speak about right here, deep stuff only.
Yeah.
We have a lot of time for soccer, but we have even more time for deep conversations. I'm joking. I'm just messing with y'all. So responsibility as a guy, I feel like this is a topic that needs to be spoken about.
Yeah.
It's very big. This and as well things like depression and stuff. But responsibility is very big because a lot of guys nowadays try to jumpo out of responsibility.
Yeah.
Or they don't really know. I don't know how to put this. They don't really know what it means to have a sense of responsibility,
Yeah.
Like somebody would say something and they will think that the person is just being irrational. Meanwhile, the person is actually is trying to teach them responsibility. Like one statement we all grow up knowing is men don't cry.
Yeah, true.
And now the thing is, when you go into a deeper meaning into that statement, men don't cry, it's not that we're telling you men don't cry at all. No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, all guys have cried. All men have cried, right?
Yeah.
But it's a thing of you choose when to cry, If your siblings or your family are broken in tears, you can't join them, You have to be, holding on, Yes,
True.
you're gonna have your time to cry, but their head is not straight at that moment. Therefore, your head has to be straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see, it's things like that. That is a responsible approach towards things,
Yeah.
And there's responsibility in many forms. There's responsibilities in many ways. I really want to just focus right now on responsibility when it comes to a family, because where we come from, where we're based in South Africa, one of our biggest problems in our community is a lack of fatherhood,
True.
and it, irresponsibility breeds more irresponsibility.
Yeah.
Because when you decide to be irresponsible in a case of like family, what you do is that you are sowing a seed that can end up growing into something bigger.
Yeah, true.
For instance, you decide, you know what, you can't handle this anymore. You're going to leave your family, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna leave your little one and your wife and whatever, and you walk out. Unless the church intervenes, you're going to have a kid, who doesn't know what it means to be a good parent. You don't have a child who knows what it means to be responsible, or who's been given, those hidings that they need in order to be a responsible child. You know what I'm saying? And basically what happens now is that when they grow up, they end up just replicating what they've seen in their whole life, which is abandonment. And now they end up abandoning their child. And you have now this entire cycle of just, irresponsibility breeding irresponsibility, and there's no one who's breaking out of that cycle, But then obviously when like the church and stuff intervene, you have people there who are able to father the child, but there's a lot of kids out here who are lost, and it's because of irresponsibilities that were done to them. It's not even them who did it. And as a guy, it's very, very important that you're very, very responsible, even in the way you conduct yourself, because one thing I found with myself, because I was very, very naughty. I was very naughty. And one thing that really helped fix me was the fact that I realized that people are watching me, And not in a sense of people are watching to judge me. There were younger people who are watching me and they were trying to imitate what I did. So when I was naughty, they would be even more naughty. Then I'd be angry. Why is this kid naughty? Then I stepped back and I looked, this child is just doing what I'm doing. And, and this is not even my child. So how many more people are watching me and trying to now replicate what I'm doing just because they see me as a grown-up in their life? that really changed the way I saw things, you know, because I started realizing, regardless of where I see myself, my lack of responsibility will affect more than just my life, you know. And as a guy, we are called to be responsible, you know. We have to be responsible. And yes, there are going to be times whereby we don't notice it, you know, we don't see it. But when we are challenged on it, that's when now it comes out, you know. Because if I'm challenging you and I'm telling you, no, what you did was irresponsible, you know, how am I going to react? You know, yes, as guys, our immediate response is to fight. You know, that's irresponsible. No, it's not. But, you know, when you actually sit down and think, what are you thinking about? Are you still trying to defend yourself? Or are you trying to ensure that that doesn't happen again, you know? That's where the key difference is.
With responsibility, like something that actually got to me, that you mentioned the fact that there were other people looking up to you, and just to say that we've got both younger people and older people looking at you. You have the older people looking at you to see what's going on with you and how you will turn out. And also, I mean, we have younger people who are actually looking up to you. And an example that I have personally from my life is that growing up, I had a lot of siblings, like a lot of cousins and all that. And there's this one specific cousin of mine who always looked up to me. And I might have maybe subconsciously picked it up, but it wasn't something that I necessarily thought of. But I started to, at some point in my life, I started to notice that there were a few of the stuff that I would do that he would begin to mimic. So it was actually quite interesting to see in the way he looks up to me, even though he wouldn't admit it. He's a very good kid, but he would imitate me in stuff I do. For example, one of my major hobbies is dancing, because I just like to dance. And whenever I'll be playing music in the living room and I decide to dance, he would actually start dancing. And one thing that I picked up is that he was a really good dancer. But another thing that I picked up, apart from him being a good dancer, is that most of the moves that he was doing is moves that he saw from me. And just from that, it might be seen as a little thing, but it's actually a major example to say that there are more people watching you than what you think. And it is important, the image you portray of yourself out there, because you get people with a, how can I say, a stupidity mindset that say, well, when I live my life, I live for myself, and what I do by myself, for myself. And you think that, well, you're just living your life and you're doing your own business, so when you do your own business, whatever you do only affects you. But whether you like it or not, everything that you do affects someone out there. So we should rather not be selfish and not be small-minded, but think of what we do and how we conduct ourselves. And responsibility is something that we have to take. I mean, like you mentioned earlier also, we're living in a fatherless generation in South Africa. Unfortunately, something that is way too common. You would never be surprised the amount of houses you may come across whereby the fathers are not available. Either maybe something happened in between the family that the father was there no more, or he died, but just anything. But then because of that, now boys are growing up more corrupt in society today. Boys are growing up with no direction, and through that now we have a hopeless, sometimes, okay, not necessarily hopeless, but then at some point, if you look at it from a shallow point of view, people will see it as a hopeless future. But obviously that's not the case. That's why we have leaders and people who are out there, mentors who are there to encourage and uplift the young men. But otherwise, the guys are not looking up too much anymore these days, because they don't have that strong father figure that our fathers and our grandfathers had back in the day, because back in the day it was real. And unfortunately now we don't have much real men. So that's one place where I know we really have to step up.
Yeah, no, look, I agree with 100% with what you said, man. It's very true. We really need to start standing up. And, you know, it's in the simplest of things, man. Like, how do you take care of your environment? Do you take responsibility of your environment? Or you're one of those people who litter up, you know, a litter bug? You know, for me, something like that as well is something I take so dearly. I know with myself, my mom and I used to fight because she'd always find packets inside my pockets, you know? And that's because I didn't like throwing them on the floor. So I'd rather have them in my pockets. So I know when we get home, one way or another, they're going to end up in the dustbin. And that's now you taking responsibility of your surroundings, you know. We actually now start finding a lot of guys urinating on the side, you know. And you're like, come on, do you not respect yourself firstly? You know, that is an act of responsibility, you know, because people are walking past. What if a young girl walks past, you know, and now you could be scarring her for life? Those are acts of irresponsibleness, you know, and it's very bad. Like, you look at during these lockdown periods, you have people who try to make their own alcohol. Some of them, it never ended up well, you know. Cause why? People don't understand that the responsibility they have for their own lives, you know. And it's frustrating. It really is, you know, because you see good people who's trying their best, and then you see people who just don't care. And you look at them and you're like, come on, dude, you are affecting a generation. You know, there's a generation that looks at you and they're also going to adapt that I don't care attitude. And you're not taking responsibility as a guy to be a father of nations. You know, that's what we are called to be, a father of nations, which means that every single place we go, we are supposed to be impacting those people, you know. And I strongly believe that as a guy, you know, a person you should be really focused on is with God. Because that's where it starts. You can't be responsible without him, you know. You can't change without him. So I believe that's where they should start. And you should really start looking at your community as well. You know, what can you do to make your community better? What can you do to make your household better? You know, what can you do to be a much, much more responsible person? You can't be just always on the same old things, you know, wanting money from X, Y, and Z, wanting money from the government, always wanting money from the government. You know, you don't want to work, because as soon as you start working, it ends up becoming too much work for you. And that, I don't find it as an act of responsibility at the end of the day, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so we're gonna just go into another quick breather, and when we come back, we're going to have DJ Cave telling us where you can find our shows. So we're going to be back. I want you guys to listen in very close.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy DJ P Dog, and you are tuned in to Active FM. Y'all keep it locked for the very best.
Live, right here on Active FM, we bring to you the Active Worship Inception album.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. I rejoice at your word, unfading. I've been set free instantaneously. I find myself in the presence of the cross. Let my life be defined by your endless victory.
You can stream the album on Spotify and Apple iTunes. If you're interested in downloading the album, well, contact us for more info. Okay, yes, we are back from that hot breather now. Obviously, we are at the moment where we are about to close the show, but before we go and close off the show, I just want to give you a little word of encouragement, or should I say words of encouragement, because I'm going to speak about a couple of things. And just all in all, to sum it up, I just want to say that guys, step up, take responsibility, and be a man, because at the end of the day, it's all about being a man and doing the right thing. Doing the right thing is taking responsibility. Own up to whatever that it is that you have to own up to, and whatever things that could be going on in your life. Maybe you've made a couple of mistakes. A way of moving on and being able to go through them, being able to conquer, is taking responsibility. And all in all, which is to own up to whatever you're doing, to own up to whatever is your concern. So that's part of being a guy, that's part of a guy's life basically. And like DJ Stones mentioned earlier, when he mentioned the fact that there's a saying that men don't cry, and he spoke about the deeper meaning about it, and he said it's that you choose to cry. You choose when to cry, should I say rather. So men choose when to cry. And how I view it specifically is that obviously when they say men don't cry, they don't mean that you literally don't cry, as in tears don't come out of your eyes. But even when you cry, in your moments when you are crying, what do you do? So it's not like you're gonna start sitting and sobbing about all your problems, all the issues that you're going through, or whatever that you have to deal with in your life. You don't sob. The men don't sob. Even when you cry, those moments, you just pick yourself up and, man, dust your shoulders, carry on with life, because life goes on. You gotta be hard, man. You gotta be hard, man. We can't be weak. You have to be hard as a man. Anyway, yes, that's some words of encouragement. So be responsible to your kids. We have a lot of guys running around popping babies all over, like growing flowers in a spring season. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. First of all, the only time a man and woman should be having any form of intercourse is after marriage. People having intercourse out of wedlock, and we have fathers that can't own up to their kids, and others that are not even able to take care of their kids, forget owning up to their kids. So now, even if they wanted to, they don't have the means, so that just leaves now a gap, and problems are going to definitely come out of there. So we don't want guys just popping babies out of nowhere. Actually have the means to be able to take care of that baby, to take care of that woman. First of all, you should be marrying her, and if you have a child with a woman that you are not married to, well, no discrimination to you, because it happens, it's part of life. What choice are you going to make today? It's not about the mistakes you made in the past, it's about what you choose to do now. And so don't base your life on your previous decisions, but base your life on what can you do better going forward. And obviously, like I'm saying, own up. Men, own up to your kids, own up to your responsibilities, do what you have to do. And also, let's treat our women right. Let's respect our women and own up for all the stuff that we have not done according to what we are supposed to do as guys, and start taking care of our women, start loving them more and treating them right. Treating them right doesn't mean you come home early every day with a smile on your face waiting for food on your table. No. Be extra, don't be the regular guy. Find something that is out of the ordinary and something that is common. Okay, not necessarily common, because I've heard recently about women complaining that guys are not always as romantic as what we would expect. I mean, guys don't bring flowers to ladies anymore and all this stuff. So go out of your way, do that, do something a little extra, something crazy. But let's just take ownership, let's be responsible men, and yeah, do what we gotta do. But unfortunately, this is the part of the show where we are leaving you, and I'm closing off with our platforms. We're on all social media platforms that you can think of where you can find Active FM. We're on Instagram, which is at ActiveFM777. We're on Twitter, which is at ActiveFM. Facebook, which is /ActiveFM. And those are social media platforms. You can also get our shows on Spotify. You can visit our website, which is www.activefm.co.za. We are on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, iTunes Podcast, whatever it is, you'll find us there. And yeah, Active FM is just big, it's happening, we are everywhere. And I know every time when we get to the end of the show, I mention a couple of shows that I say you should go and check out, and I tell you about the whole lot more shows that you should go and listen to. Well, today I'm going to give it a go and actually try and see how far I can go with giving you all the shows that you can go and listen to. And if I miss any, please don't judge me, and no offense to any of the presenters out there if I do not call out your show. It's just that I failed to think of it on the go. But anyway, we have a whole lot of amazing show like this one that you're listening to now, The Cave Show. Do listen to our show, myself and DJ Stones, myself being DJ Cave. We host the show and we run this town, man. So yes, listen to The Cave Show, listen to All Things Girl. You have Tamia and DJ Peaches right there on that show. Listen to All Things Girl. Listen to The Love Show. You have Jamie Musadi and the long-awaited Mlindeni the Man. Yeah, listen to their show. Their show is epic, it's dope. Listen to The Mode with DJ Aqua. Listen to DJ Moore, mixes with DJ Moore. Listen to Fearless Mixes. Listen to Active Surge. Listen to The Housemaster. Listen to The Sporting Base. Listen to The Funny Truth, where the truth has never been this funny. That's by DJ PJ, man. He's the one doing that show. Listen to The Political Show with Pastor Gavin and Cynthia. You can call her Gigs. Listen to The News Show with Cynthia. What other shows do we have? Listen to True Talk 101 with Comfort. I'm not sure if she has a DJ name, but yes, listen to True Talk 101. That's one of our new shows that recently came up on Active FM. Listen to Philosophically Poetic with Nolene from Philosophically Poetic. Yeah, listen to her show. I was thinking, what could Nolene's DJ name possibly be? I'm not sure if she has another DJ name. Does she have another DJ name? Well, I'm not sure, but yes, listen to Philosophically Poetic. What other shows? This is DJ Cave trying to think of all the other shows that he could have missed. Let me just go from the top. So I think I did mention Sweating Bass, didn't I? I probably did. Listen to our live shows. Listen to what else? There's something that is in my head. Yes, listen to the Situation Room. A lot of insightful information there. And everything that they say there is true, but that show is also an eye-opener. It tells you what's happening currently in our economy, what's happening with our government in South Africa, and it also tells you what's going on overseas with the States, with China, and all the other countries. Listen to that, and you get to the latest updates on the current situation in the world right now, and also what the Bible and what God has to say about everything. So listen to all those shows. I'm still trying to think if I've missed shows, because I know definitely I couldn't have called out all the shows. There's still a couple of shows I'm missing. Which show am I missing? I am missing shows. Wow. We have that many shows that I don't even remember. Because I know I mentioned the news, I mentioned the political show, I mentioned the cave. Yes, we also have the VAR show. Listen to the VAR show where you get all the soccer updates specifically designed for soccer. The VAR show. And that is as far as I can remember. So yes, I challenge all the Active FM presenters to remember and call out all the shows on the spots during their recordings. And no, don't go and take a page full of the shows and try and remember it, or look at the list just before. No, go on the spot during your show and list out all the Active FM shows that you can remember. Send a shout out to them, and yeah, let the listeners get a hang of it. But anyway, we are closing off the show, we being myself and DJ Stone. So this has been it. It's been interesting. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. We are signing out. Peace and God bless.
Active FM. Radio has never been better.
us back to the beginning. What an awesome